¿Te gustaría conocer una manera de conectar rápida y eficientemente con todo el poder de tu esqueleto? Soy Lea Kaufman de movimientointeligente.com y en este video te vamos a mostrar cómo. Hoy te saludo desde Cali, Colombia, donde estamos llevando a cabo el primer entrenamiento profesional en el método Feldenkrais. De hecho, en este hermoso salón es donde tenemos un grupo de más de 35 personas de 8 países diferentes de toda Latinoamérica, guiados por nuestro director académico, el maestro fuerte, que hoy está con nosotros para mostrarte los movimientos para recuperar el poder y la eficiencia de tu esqueleto.
One of the most basic ideas underlying the Feldenkrais method is to be able to use ourselves more effectively skeletally. The skeleton is the part of ourself that bears weight and transmits force, and we tend to underuse that and overuse our musculature. A lot of what we learn in a lesson is to quiet down some of our muscular habits, effecting more skeletal use of ourselves, hence becoming more efficient, better organized, and more powerful in our actions.
Para mostrarte estos movimientos nos van a ayudar algunos de nuestros alumnos de este entrenamiento. Si tú también quieres ser parte de este grupo y formarte con nosotros como un profesional del método Feldenkrais, ve a esta página web o escríbenos un correo a contacto@feldenkraiscolombia.com porque todavía tienes una última oportunidad para integrarte con nosotros.
So, come and sit at the edge of the table comfortably. And put your hands in the air. In group number 1, you can put your hands against group number 2, so put your palms together. In group number 1, you're going to keep yourselves very still and stable. In group number 2, you're going to push and feel what it's like to push them. That's good. And feel how much work it takes and how much power you have. And then pause for a second, keep your hands together, and now switch over. Group number 2, you stay stable. And group number 1, you push and feel how hard do you work? Where do you work? How much power do you have? And then put your arms down, let go, and actually slide your tables just a little bit back away from each other so you have some room. And now a little bit more. And now come rest your elbows on your knees. And slowly start to round yourself a little bit and arch yourself. And just feel, where do you sense that movement in yourself? What part of your back, your spine, your chest do you sense more? Do you have a sense of where that movement begins on the rounding and the arching? And then keep your elbows on your knees, but pause for a moment. Just rest. And now you're going to do the same movement, but you're going to make the center of the movement higher up in your spine. So start to round and arch yourself from a place much higher in your spine. That's great. And just feel, how is that different? And if that invites movement into different parts of yourself or in a different way, you keep the weight of your arms in your legs. And then pause for a moment, stay there. And now think of the place that you first centered the movement around, and now move it even lower down in your spine. So start to round and arch yourself way low down on your spine. Again, feeling, how does that change the movement? Not just in your spine, but maybe in other places in yourself as well. Now leave it. Rest for just a moment. You can sit up just to take a short break. And then take your left arm and rest it on your right thigh. Not the left arm, on the right thigh. That's it. And have the right arm resting on top. And so you're turned now more to the right. And start to round yourself and arch yourself here. And feel, because you're twisted like this, if you can sense that you're bending more over your right hip joint. And then leave that and switch over your arms, come onto the other leg. That's it. And now round and arch yourself here. Again, feeling, do you have a sense that this time you're folding now more over the left hip joint? That your torso bends in a different way, and you actually invite movement lower down in the pelvis. And then pause again, rest for a moment, just sit. And now I'm going to ask you to stagger yourselves a little bit so the person isn't right in front of you. So group number 1, maybe come towards me. Group number 2, go down a little bit. That's great. That's good. So you won't bump into each other. And put your elbows on your knees again. And keeping your elbows on your knees, imagine that you've got eyes on your sit bones. And you want to lift your pelvis into the air to look behind you, but to actually lift your pelvis off the table. So go ahead and see, can you lift yourself? That's great. And come back again. And do that a couple of times. And back. And stay there. And now stay down like that, but reach your arms behind you. And put the palms to the ceiling. No, just the palms to the ceiling, the arms long, in the air behind you. And look out towards the horizon. Look out to the horizon and think that you're going to do a racing dive. So you're going to lift your arms behind you to lift your pelvis in the air. That's it. And come back again. And really push your arms back behind you when you do it. That's it. And feel what happens in your lower back when you do that. Do it once more. And then come back again. Put your elbows on your knees. And with that same feeling in your back that you just created, go ahead and lift your pelvis to look with your sit bone eyes behind you. And notice if it got a little easier. Try it a couple of times. And then pause. Sit up. And now move the tables closer together again. And all of you, put your palms together. Group number 1, you're going to stay stable again. And group number 2, push with that same feeling that you just had. And notice if you feel a little stronger, if you push a little more easily. And then group number 2, you stay stable. And then group number 1, you push and feel, if you think of the front of you getting longer, is that different than how you first moved yourself? Okay, and pause and rest. So let's see if those few movements made a difference for the people doing the pushing. So what did you notice? Did you feel a difference from the first way you pushed to the second way you pushed? What did you feel?
Sentí diferencia como que yo incliné hacia adelante y mi espalda como tomando la segunda vez. Yo sentí que podía empujar las decisiones en la tabla y eso me daba más fuerza para
sí, luego de realizar el ejercicio sentía que mi pecho estaba más involucrado en el movimiento.
Yo lo sentí más cuando él estaba empujando, sentí mucha más fuerza desde la pecho hasta la cabeza. Podía sostenerlo.
You can see, after just a few movements, what a difference it can make in someone, how someone starts to use themselves skeletally. Of course, in a full lesson, you'd find even greater benefits.
Tú también puedes hacer estos movimientos, no necesitas tener un compañero, solamente la parte de los movimientos para dejar que tus músculos descansen y recuperar la fuerza real, la fuerza que te corresponde, que es la fuerza de tu esqueleto. Si te gustó este video, dale me gusta y compártelo con tus amigos. Te voy a estar muy agradecida. Si quieres ser un profesional del método fuerte estudiando con nosotros, ve a esta página web o mándanos un correo a esta dirección. Y si aún no estás en mi lista, en la lista de movimientointeligente.com para recibir clases, para recuperar tu poder y el uso más eficiente de tu cuerpo y de tu ser, ve en este momento a movimientointeligente.com y suscríbete para recibir estos videos todos los viernes en tu correo. Gracias por ver, hacer y sentir. Hasta la próxima.